Hi. So, before we get into what we are going to be doing today, I want to address this issue. A lot of people wanted to know the relevance of SQL or SQL in data analysis and data science. Okay, so the way you import data into your working environment, okay, for instance, your Jupyter Notebook, it's going to be greatly dependent on the database or the kind of file you are using. Okay, so we have SQL Server databases and we have no SQL Server databases, right? So we have SQL Server bases. Obviously, I'm going to be using an SQL database, right? But then when it's a no SQL Server database, we'll be using something like a MongoDB database. Okay, and then we have file types as well. You don't only work with CSV files. Okay, CSV files are files that are separated with their elements separated by a comma or any other delimiter, but an JSON file. But you also use other files like a JSON file. Okay, a JSON file has the look of stacked dictionaries. Okay, and you will understand what a dictionary is later on in my lessons. Okay, so it's greatly dependent on the kind of file or database you are working with. If you have an SQL database, you definitely need an SQL query to pull or load in your data into your working environment. Okay, so a lot of companies and a lot of teams, you do use SQL databases, so that's why it's greatly popular. A lot of jobs require you to have SQL skills because it's necessary to load your data into your working environment. So you usually have your short SQL query in your Wrangle function. So you just filter out and select your data right from the bat. So you connect to your server, you select your data, and then it's imported into your working environment. Okay. Today we are going to be looking at the essentials for Python. The essentials in Python for data analysis and data science. Okay, we want to get the basics of the basics down to be able to start writing some code for data analysis. Today we are going to be learning how to use a print function, how to comment, how to call for variables, and how to create a variable. Okay, I'll also be leaving a short quiz at the end of the notebook. So let's get straight into learning something. Let's go. We are going to be taking basics of Python, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so what is Python? Python is a programming language. Okay, it is the easiest programming language to master and understand out there. It is widely used. Okay, it is very popular because it is so easy to apply. It's greatly applicable in data analysis, data science, web development, and automation. Printing output in Python. Okay, your output is what you want to display onto your screen. Okay, it's what you'd want to see as the end product on your screen. Okay, so the print function helps you to display your results or text or whatever you want to see onto your screen. Okay, so we have the print function being the word print, then your parentheses. Okay, so you put whatever you want to see in the parentheses. Okay, so we have examples here. We have print, the print function, your parentheses, then welcome to Python for data analysis. Okay, we have print again with our parentheses, then I love learning Python in our parentheses. Okay, then we have another example: print parentheses, my name is Matilda. Okay, then print again the function of Grace, then I love Fufu, as what we want to display onto our screen. Let's run this. Okay, first let's run the first example, and we are supposed to see welcome to Python for data analysis. Okay, so I want to talk about the quotation marks. Okay, quotation marks in Python is what tells Python that hello, these are words, these are strings. Okay, it's a string of words. You cannot perform any numerical operations here. These are letters, these are words, so print them as such, okay, or treat them as such. They are words. Okay, so it's the quotation marks that tells Python that these are words, these are sentences. Okay, so we have print, our parentheses, our quotation marks, then welcome to Python for data analysis, because they are words, right? Then we have our print function again, and I love learning Python. So if I run this, I'm supposed to see I love learning Python there. And next example, my name is Matilda. The next example is print I love Fufu. Okay, so let me walk you through how you'd write it, right? So let me just clear this. So you first start with writing out your function, the print function. Okay, so we have our print here, then we have our parentheses. It lights up yellow, right? That means you spelled it right. And then we have to put what we want to display onto the screen, what we want print to display onto the screen into your parentheses. Okay, and I want to put in here Python is fun. That's what I want to see. Okay, Python is fun. And if I run this, I'm supposed to see Python is fun. There, Python is fun. It's easy to understand, right? Just print as you think, you print something out. So print, and then what you want to print out, Python is fun, and it prints it out for you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Writing comments. Okay, comments are like the part of your code that doesn't execute. Okay, in Python it doesn't execute. For instance, you see the way that we just executed this whole line of code and we had exactly what we wanted here. So if we had a comment in there, in this cell, right, it wouldn't run. Okay, so what is the use? I know a lot of people will be asking that. Comments help you understand your code, okay? Because you write tons and tons and tons of lines of code and blocks of code that 3 months from now, if you take your scripts again and you should look at it, trust me, you wouldn't know what you're writing, what you are referring to, okay? So you need your comments to help you understand what your code means, okay? So for instance, here we have, this is a comment to show that it's an example, right? And then we have a comment here. This is an inline comment. Okay, so to instantiate your comment, you need to use the hash symbol. That's what tells Python, hello Python. Here, this line, it's a comment, okay? So it goes like hash. As soon as Python sees hash, it's like, okay, this is a comment. This is not going to be executed. Let me execute everything else except what comes after the hash symbol, okay? So we have two types of comments. We have the comments that is written right above your code to understand your block of code, and we have inline comments. Okay, these are comments that are written line wise, okay, per your line of code. So print this line runs, right? Comment starts with your hash symbol, this is an inline comment. So this comment is only applicable to this line of code, hence the name inline comment. Okay, it's applicable to only that particular line of code. Okay, so if I run this cell right now, it shouldn't display any of the comments at all. We're supposed to just get this line runs and Matilda from running this cell. Okay, so let me go on and run it. Okay, there, this line runs and Matilda. Python ignores everything after the hash symbol. Okay, so let me show you how this would be applicable. Let me just take this out. Okay, so for instance, we're going to be writing our print function with our parentheses. Okay, we are going to be putting a string of words in here. Okay, I have a Lambo. I don't, but it's a great thought to have it. And then let me use an inline comment to explain this particular line of code that I've written. Okay, so I'll instantiate my comment with the hash symbol, right? And I'll write a line or a sentence to describe what that particular block, that particular line of code means. Okay, so I would refer to it as the car I own. The car I own. Okay, so if I should take this script 2 months from now and I see the car I own, oh, it's a Lambo, right? So that's what this line of code is saying, is doing. Okay, let me run it. I have a Lambo with no comment attached to it. Okay, so variables. What is a variable? A variable helps you store data. Okay, your data can be in any form. It can be a number, it can be a text, it can be true or false. It's literally anything you can type out. Okay, if you can type it out, it can be stored in a variable. Okay, so I have a few examples of variables here. All right, when you're trying to store any form of text or number, or in this case true or false value, into a variable, you need your equal sign to assign that particular data to the variable. Okay, it's usually referred to as a variable name, right? Which is very conflicting with my first my first example. But in this case, variable name here, my first example, is name, right? And we are using the equal sign here to assign our data, in this case, which is Juliana, to the name. I don't know if you get what I mean. Let's go to the next example. In this case, our variable name is age, right? We use the equal sign to assign the data, which is 25, to age. So in any point within my coding journey here, should I refer to age, I should get 25 in return. That should be my output. That should be what print displays on my screen. Okay, so now 25 has a new name. We are going to refer to 25 as age. We are going to refer to Juliana as name. Okay, so here we have height as our variable name. We use equal sign to assign the data to the variable name, and then data here is 5.6. Same applies here, where this is the data. The equal sign is used to assign the data to the variable name, right? The variable name could be anything. Okay, it's something, it helps you easily identify that particular data. Okay, so it should be easy to relate to. Hence 25 is an age. I cannot come and put Amma here and say Amma is an age. It doesn't make sense. You even forget halfway through your coding journey. Okay, so it should be understandable. It should make sense, right? So anytime I refer to age in this notebook, I'm supposed to get 25 because now that's the new name we've assigned to 25 age, right? Any part in this notebook should I write name, I should get Juliana, because now Juliana has a new name, literally new. Okay, so if I should print this, any part in just, if you noticed, right, this print statement, right, is making reference to the variable names. Name here is referring to Juliana, age here is referring to the age over here, and height here is referring to the height here. So when you look at the output that print is displaying onto your screen, you realize the name is now Juliana, age is now 25, and height is now 5.6, right? Let's give another example. I love this example. Okay, let me just write it from scratch. All right. Okay, so let me use my comments, right? We are going to be talking about the number of tools I own. Okay, right. So my variable name that I have chosen is tools. Okay, equal to, let's assume I have 70 tools, right? If I should print out tool and run my code, I should get 70. Give me a minute. There. 70. Because now 70 has a new name. 70 is now referred to as tools in this particular notebook. Okay, so anywhere in this notebook, if I should write tools here, okay, and run it, it should give me 70. Okay, right there, 70. Okay, any part within this code, should I write tools or print tools, I should be able to get what I stored in tools, in this case is 70. Okay, so I have practice tasks for you guys. You just go in there and then try your hands out. Okay, I'll be leaving it in my bio as usual, okay, because I do not have 1,000 subscribers yet, but learning materials will be available in the bio on this channel. Okay, yeah. And to make this easy for you, let me just help you guys out. Okay, so if you remember earlier, we learned that the print function displays a value, right? It displays a value or letters, or a string of letters, right? Right. So what if we try to display both at the same time? It's possible to do that with your print function. Okay, so we're going to start with, I'm going to try to write the sentence, I have $70 tools. I'm going to try to print out I have 70 tools. Okay, so we're going to have our print function as we already wrote already. Our quotation marks, because we're going to be writing words, and I have by ends there, because now we should be making reference to our tools, right? We're going to use a comma to separate our value, our variable name in this case, from our string of words here. And we are going to write tools to refer to 70, right? Because we've renamed 70 as tools, right? Tools. And I'll be writing the word tools because it's part of my sentence. And if I should run this, I have 70 tools. Okay, there I have 70 tools.
this should help you out with your little assignment over here. Okay, so today, what did we cover? We covered Python for beginners. We learned that it is very beginner friendly, it's relatable, it's readable, it's easy to understand. We learned how to use print to display messages and results. We learned how to create a variable, okay, how to store data in our variable, how to store values in our variable, okay, and we learned how to use our hash symbol to create comments. So we can create comments above our block of code, or we can create inline comments that references that particular line of code.
In today's video, we learned how to use the print function, how to create comments in our code, how to create a variable and call for our variable. I left an assignment, like I mentioned before, at the end of the notebook, so please try it out and comment your answers down below so that I'll be able to check it out. I will be leaving my learning materials in my link tree in my bio. I cannot link it in my description because I do not have enough subscribers right now, so just go in there, go to learning materials, YouTube learning materials, and then download what you need for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.